Good morning, beloveds. Yeah, sorry, I don't think I'm awake yet. I've been out, I've run 2 miles, and I'm just not quite clicking on all cylinders yet. Um, and that's okay. I had an interesting experiences yesterday. I had two memories, I guess, or interactions with things that brought up memories. Yesterday, the Blue Angels flew over Houston, which was, and I was lucky because I was on a flight. I was on the flight path. I was on 45, and so I got to see them. And I'm not sure that I've ever seen them before. But I did grow up on and around Air Force bases. My dad was in boot camp when I was born. So I was actually born on an Air Force base. So I've seen the Air Force version of the Blue Angels probably multiple times. So it was exciting to see and brought back some of those memories. And then last night when I was, scrolling through social media, I saw a picture, and immediately, and it was an old picture. It was a grainy picture. It really wasn't a good picture, but it was a building, and immediately I recognized the building. And then I read the headline and went, "Oh, they're tearing down my high school." I went to high school in a tiny little town in the middle of nowhere, and I'm not even going to tell you how long I've been out of high school, but suffice to say, it's been a while. And so immediately, you're yanked back to high school. And, depending on your experiences, and I had, both good and bad experiences. But it was interesting. It was interesting to be pulled back into those memories. Pulled back into the memories of growing up on military bases, and then to be pulled back into the memories from that high school, and to know that the number of years later, because it's been more than 20, let's be honest, since I graduated from high school, to be pulled back into those memories, to recognize that building from more than 20 years ago, and then to see the headline that, oh, they're tearing it down, and to read the article. Now, the article was written by somebody that was, they graduated, I think, 6 years, somewhere between 4 and 6 years before I did. So some of the people that they referenced, I didn't know. But as they're talking about it, it was like, no, I remember that teacher, or I don't remember that teacher, but I do remember this teacher. And oh yeah, no, I remember the egg crate, or the indestructible egg. I didn't even know what torque was, and apparently I used torque in my project. So it was just to have those two right there, so close together. It was, I don't know. I'm still kind of pondering it, so I'm a little contemplative today. Yeah. I hope that you get memories pulled up like that for you that are good. Because all of my military memories are good. My military base memories are good. High school, like I said, it's a bag. It's good, but fortunately for me, it pulled up the good ones. It did. Or maybe I should say I allowed it to pull up the good ones. And just kind of walk back down memory lane there a little bit. It does make me want to pull out my yearbook and kind of look through it. Honestly, I'm kind of rocking almost the same look that I had in high school right now, but we won't talk about that. Because it's a completely different color. When I was in high school, it was kind of that bright orangey red, and now it's blonde, headed white. So, all right. May 6th. Oh, we have a SOM today. We're going to get out of Job for a minute. We are Psalm 13:6 for our Bible quote. I will sing unto the Lord because he hath dealt bountifully with me. Okay, I wasn't prepared for that word. Sorry. This is where I get to tell you that I won the English award for 4 years in high school. I have an extensive vocabulary. I may not always be able to pronounce the words. I am conscious that I daily enter into my divine inheritance. In my thought and in spirit, I am entering into the realm of absolute causation. I completely believe that from this secret place of the Most High within me, there will be projected an objective manifestation of my every legitimate desire. I know that all desires are legitimate so long as they do not harm any other person. All desires are legitimate when they express life without hurt to anyone. There is good enough to go around. Therefore, I do not withhold any good from myself or from others, but constantly proclaim that good belongs alike to each and all. There is that within me that sees, knows, and understands this truth, that completely accepts it, that remembers freedom, expresses freedom, and anticipates freedom. There is that within me that is... You're not helping. My co-minister has arrived. There is that within me that is completely conscious of its unity with good, of its oneness with all the power there is, all the presence there is, and all the life there is. Upon this power, presence, and life, I depend with implicit certainty, with complete confidence, and with absolute assurance. I am expecting more good. I am remembering only the good. I am experiencing good. In this memory of good, in this experience of good, and in the expectation of more good daily, I know that I move and have my being in the infinite sea of perfect life. Okay. Yeah. That was something. Some days he's easy to read, and some days yeah. I love this, but I'm gonna have to work through it. Okay. However, he really smacks you with the first line. I am conscious that I daily enter into my divine inheritance. So the first line is really, it's kind of that key to unlock everything. I am conscious, meaning we do this consciously, not unconsciously, meaning when we wake up in the morning, we set our intention of stepping into that moment of divine, or realm of divine. Let's go with that, realm of divine. When we are unconscious, we can fall back into old habits, maybe habits that aren't good for us. So I consciously enter, daily enter. So this is a daily spiritual practice to wake up and say, this is my divine inheritance, and I am consciously accepting it. Okay. And then he ends that paragraph with legitimate desire, which is kind of a strange phrase, and you're kind of like, well, lawyer, what? Legitimate desire. So it makes you think. But then he proceeds to explain it in the very next paragraph. I know that all desires are legitimate so long as they do not harm another person. On the off chance that you have a dark sense of humor, which right now, if most of us do, I admit that my husband and I can be we can have a little dark, but you understand that that's not a legitimate desire. It's just a moment and you let it go. Because a legitimate desire doesn't harm anybody, including yourself. If you look at some of the nature religions, Wicca and those, they have a creed and it says, do what you will but harm none, including yourself. And so that's exactly what Ernest is saying. Whatever desire you have is legitimate as long as it is expressing creativity, is expressing life, and is expressing good. It doesn't harm anybody. So he's very clear on that because he spends a paragraph explaining it. Therefore, I do not withhold any good from myself or from others. And constantly proclaim that the good belongs alike to each and all. That is the blessing of our teaching, is that we believe that all good is available to everybody. And when you do good for yourself, you are doing good for everybody. As long as you're not harming anyone. He's a very kind and very caring. He loved people, as evidenced by his teachings. So there is that within me that knows and understands this truth. We also say that the answers that you seek are within you. When you go to a practitioner, the practitioner isn't going to give you answers. What the practitioner is going to do is they are going to help you find the answers within yourself. Sometimes it's not about the question. It's not about the answers, but it's about asking the right questions so that you can find the answers that you seek. They are within you. In that place, in the heart of hearts, in that secret place where that still small voice resides within you. How many more of those can I pull in the way we talk about God? There is that within me that is completely conscious of the unity with good. So separation is an illusion, and we have to be conscious about the connection. It's always there. It's always there. But we have to be conscious to be open and accepting of that connection. Okay. Upon this power, presence, and life, I depend with implicit certainty, with complete confidence, and with absolute assurance. Wow. I'm glad he can live that way. I don't always, and I'm trying. And that, I think, is the essence, is that implicit certainty, complete confidence, and absolute assurance. That's what we're working towards. And on days that we stumble and days that we fall in those, then it's okay. As long as we get up and try again. I did see a quote, a meme quote on Facebook where it says the difference between a master and an amateur is that a master has failed more times and started again more times than an amateur has. To master it, you have to practice. So I am expecting more good. I am remembering only the good. I am experiencing the good. So ironically, I started talking about memory. I started talking about being pulled back into my childhood on military bases and my high school. And I did say, high school is a bag of good and bad. But last night I chose to remember the good. Outside of learning the lessons from the bad, there's no reason to keep them. So I will keep the lessons that I learned, but I will release the memories that do not serve to do anything other than prick my heart. In the memory of this good, in this memory of good, in this experience of good, and in the expectation of more good, I know that I move and have my being in an infinite sea of perfect life. he likes to use that phrase, I move and have my being. And I guess I hadn't really thought about it, so I'm going to think about it for just a minute. Actually, I'm going to probably think about it for the rest of the day. But I'm not going to keep you guys online listening to me process. But I like the fact that he says, I move and have my being. So it's not a static position in this good, in this spirit. I move in this spirit. This spirit moves in me. It is a constant flow of. It's in constant motion, just like you are in life. So, I will sing unto the Lord because he hath dealt bountifully with me. I am conscious that I daily enter my divine inheritance. Your divine inheritance, you are a child of God. You are a perfect child of God. You are a beloved child of God. And that good is available for you. I just encourage you to get out of your own way. So, today, our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to consciously enter into our divine inheritance. The more conscious that we are, the more consciously we move, the more consciously we have our being, that's where our power is. All right, well, I'm going to move on into my day. And I'm going to tell you, know that you are loved, know that we are with you, know that we love you, know that Reverend David will be on with you a little bit later today. He typically pops on around 5 now. And it's a beautiful day outside right now. It's cool. So I would encourage you to go out and get a little bit of sunshine, open your windows early. We are fast coming up on summer. And as I see Susan on, thank you, Susan. She just said to have a lovely day. Well, I echo her sentiments. Have a lovely day. Find something beautiful today. And remember the good. All right, beloveds, I will see you tomorrow at 9.